Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode on GTA 5 with Recfest playing a game of car Tetris, I believe, kind of about stacking as many cars on these steps as they can. The ambulance though is a little bit too keen, a little bit too much speed. It's a tumble and a very near miss. I don't actually know whether the Deluxor kind of saved or not. Either way, the ambulance managed to just scrape overhead. Invisible AK up next on Forza Motorsport 7 racing at Watkins Glen. Gives the Bronco a little bit of a nudge coming up over the crest. The Bronco not enjoyed that, goes for a big old lag takeout. It's just an insta angry Ford. Gotta love that little bit of kind of, well, I say slow-mo lag, a little bit of inconvenient lag positioning. Although it's not quite as effective as the Project Cars 2 slightly ramming this on BMW. A little too much speed for the player going through these first couple of corners. Not quite prepared for where the AI vehicle was going to be. Runs into the back of it, although gets cannoned out of the way. 4-bit player also on Project Cars 2, racing around the tiny little oval layout of Knock Hill with the big old stock cars. One of them puts a wheel on the grass, goes for a spin, actually ends up cutting across the track, ploughing into two more cars, and then gets fired up into the air. It turns out big heavy oval races around tiny little, well, Knock Hill didn't quite work out so well. LM on the Crew 2 is racing in monster trucks, goes for a burnout style aerial takedown on the little poor Fiat 500. The big Jeep just pinged the back wheel, and that was enough to launch the Fiat around. Pone Star on the Crew 2 is trying to go for kind of a loop around the bridge. So underneath the bridge, loop around, and then come back down and loop. Doesn't quite get it right. However, does impressively manage to capture a car. Might not have been the stunts he was going for, but I'll take capturing the car as a fairly impressive one nevertheless. Mustang Getty on the Crew, messing around with a Drift RX-7 when it's a little bit too much drifting, not enough, well, road, wasn't even a road, pier, and now we're parked. Doesn't actually reset either. The car, the Mazda, stuck on the boat, is not going to be going anywhere soon. A Kinner on a Need for Speed Payback is trying to get away from the police. Spots what they think is a ramp. It's not. That's a nice solid invisible wall. The thing is, there were about 5 police cars around them, all of which drove into the invisible wall as well, all of which are now broken. So that's, I mean, it's an effective getaway tactic, not quite the expected one, but it does work. Zero NLG on a Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered, heading towards a waypoint. Carrying a bit too much speed around the corner into a checkpoint. The buggy's up on its back and then doesn't quite know what to do. It's like it went around the corner okay. It went around the corner, it hit the thing. It did, well, I mean, that bit there was fairly normal, and then it's just stuck rocking. A kapow to the face with, well, almost, very nearly a car to the face. That's not quite the ideal way. I mean, it's spectacular. It's a very FailRace approved way of making an arrival. Doesn't really help you win the game. Not really. But it's definitely spectacular. De Loeffel on Jurassic World Evolution is trying to trank or medic, I think, one of the dinosaurs. The dinosaur was not enjoying that and managed to roll the Jeep. Now, the Jeep's actually a bit difficult to roll on this game. I've seen them pushed by dinosaurs before, never seen one batted so well out of the way. It wasn't even a big dinosaur either, one of the smaller ones, managing to launch the Jeep around. Black and Red on City Skyline is, well, minding his own business, doing some building, when he notices a car doing something that it shouldn't be. There's all of these lovely roads, and now we're going to start flying, and you paid no attention to any of them whatsoever. You're just going to mildly hover your way, there we go, through the road and through the building, and there we go, parked. Now, I have seen cars do these a little tiny bit across short distances. I've not actually seen one travel quite so far. I'd also like to know how they expect to park there normally. Maybe they've got some special high-tech stuff on their Jeep, although if you've got that sort of high-tech stuff, I'm not sure why all you'd be using it to do is to drive to work slightly across some field, but there we go. Another Jackal on Recfest is learning how dangerous the smallest nudge on a fence can be. Carries a little too much speed up over the top of the crest, pings off the fence ever so slightly. It's just enough to upset the car, and then it's a big tumble for what is now a fairly poorly vehicle. That's pretty half hit. And finally, JT Shoden on Assetto Corsa with, well, a field of GT cars, everything fairly normal up until a Viper's on its roof for no real good reason, spinning around and then bings off into the fence. There's a couple of other cars kind of trying to avoid the Viper, it does then eventually just ping its way through the floor. Who knows? Everyone's bells back to normal now. We'll just ignore the Viper that pinged around and did some peculiar... yeah, no idea. No idea whatsoever. Quite an interesting sight, though. It makes for a spectacular race, that's for sure. That, though, is going to be it for this video. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via our forums. There will be a link in the description of this video. Find the very top of the page, is the FailRace clip submission section, and in there you can find all of the rules and how to submit them. But that is going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.